Hello, family, friends, and fans. I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is the Five and Dime Track by Track, part of the series called Fletcher Rhoden Track by Track, where I go through my albums track by track. It's basically one album every 2 months, sometimes a little more than that. This is a long one, so you can expect a good respite afterward. It's a double record length compilation of my best stuff between 2005 and 2010, hence the title, The Five and Dime. If you're old enough to think that's clever, then this music is probably right up your alley. There's another fan. Okay, so it's mostly Christian, not entirely, though. People ask, I was a progressive Christian. So I embraced the secular institutions of history and science instead of just refuting them outright the way a lot of Christian or other religious people do. But I also embraced the religious doctrine of scripture and prayer, let's just say. But I was always a progressive about it, progressive Christianity. If you want to read more about that, you can check out my book, A Progressive Christian Handbook, which I wrote under the nom de plume of Jenny Friendswith. But it's available on Kindle and in paperback and audiobook format, A Progressive Christian Handbook. Okay, so along those lines, that's where I want to be when the Christ comes, is the next song that we're going to analyze. Now, this is one of my favorite songs on the record. It's one of my favorite from this period. Um, it's it's interesting. Somebody compared it to Captain Beefheart, and I get that. I get that. It's got a progressive approach. It keeps shifting and changing, and some of it's kind of esoteric and dissonant. You know, uh, not the first time I've been compared to the like of Frank Zappa, which someone said the guitar work sounded like Frank Zappa. Uh, I think maybe someone mentioned Bowie or Tom Waits rather. Bowie, I often get, um, and I take all that as pretty high praise. This song again has one of those generic love interest figures that I just, you know, the song required that, but I didn't actually have a person in mind for it. It's just it's another way of saying I love you. Really, it's a song about when the Christ comes, when the end time comes during the apocalypse. I want to hold your hand, basically. And it's not the most uh, conventional way to write a love song. Is you know, I love you during the apocalypse. I want to. That's where I want to be when we both die horribly. Uh, but that's me. That's the kind of song I write. I do like the sweet and sour. I like that. I like a tang of bitterness in there. Keep things from being too friendly. So that's not too friendly, but too unerringly cheerful. I like the juxtaposition. So this song certainly has a good deal of that. It's got a lick. One part of it is a lick from an old song that I had in the late '80s, and I didn't really like the rest of the song. What I liked about it was that part of the song, so I just used it. Interestingly, on my a cappella album years later, I sort of salvaged the rest of that song, but I didn't use the lick, which I had taken out of it to use for this song because I'd already used it. And I try not to repeat things like that if I can. So that song is called Rediscover You, and it's on the a cappella album called uh, Under the Wolf Moon, which you can download wherever you like to download your favorite music. But let's stick to this album. This is the Five and Dime, the best of 2005, 2010, also available on Spotify, Apple, Tunes, wherever you like to download your favorite music, you can download mine. So check this song out. It's there's a link to it below this video, and if you want to see hear the whole album, you're kind of seeing it because you're looking at auto-generated video on YouTube, then go to the overview for this installment of Track by Track, and there'll be a link to the whole album. So check that out. You'll want to download it, I'm sure, for your car as you drive to and from church or wherever else, or the university, and enjoy my music. Enjoy this song. Tune in again for another analysis, and until then, bye, Mary.